What's up? BHOinnovations.com. Please buy your books, courses, and everything else on BHOinnovations.com. Listen, this is a true story. And this is going to be at least the books. Some of the books. Buy your book, Business Hustle. True story. This is about Fredrick Douglass. He was American social reformer, abolitionist, oracle, writer, statesman. He was the most important leader of the movement in African American civil rights in 19th century. So, the reason why I'm talking to you about Fredrick Douglass is something happened remarkable in Fredrick Douglass for the state of Florida. Fredrick Douglass got a statue in St. Augustine about a couple of days ago. And since then, I have asked many of us young African Americans who is Fredrick Douglass. To be clear, none of them knew who he was. He was born 1818. He escaped slavery in 1838, and he died in 1895. Why this is so important to me and why it should be important to you. Many reasons why it should be important to you that they have a statue in St. Augustine of Fredrick Douglass. Many young people going to walk past, many middle-aged people going to walk past, and many elders going to know who he is, and they're not going to tell the younger generation who that person is. The funny thing, our governor, Ron DeSantis of the state of Florida, was the person who gave the speech of the statue. But let me give you some history of Ron DeSantis. Did you know that Ron had an early legislator, Ron Champion, for 2022 to stop, it's called Stop Woke Act HB.7, that led to the restriction of certain black books, black history, and material in public schools. So why did he give a statue and a speech of Fredrick Douglass in St. Augustine when he was championed not to have some books of black history in public schools? I'm just wondering, why did he do that? For your youthful minds and the elders who don't speak about their history, there's a lot of information that's in the library right now that you can look up about Fredrick Douglass. And I hope that you do, because we need to know who our ancestors were and what they did for civil rights and the rights that you are no longer having because some of you don't want to know. Many times when I used to go to a school called James Warren Johnson in Florida. And during that time, we used to walk the halls, going to the cafeteria. And it was like a little medallion of James Warren Johnson, which I didn't know James Warren Johnson was the head of that school establishment. And I did not know that James Warren Johnson was black. And that was back in the early 70s, y'all. Early 70s. I didn't know who he was. And no one ever told me who the school name was. And when they were showing Black history, they showed us with George Washington leading the cavalry over the water with black slaves sitting in the back looking like monkeys, who we are not, which I did not look like at all. So I failed history because I didn't understand history. I didn't know our ancestors were such great leaders and what they did for our country. And I know some of you don't know either. And that's why I'm sharing. I want you to understand the person, Ron DeSantis, and all his people that was there for the grand opening of the statue. No African American person was in presence. If there was, they either was very light skinned or clear. But it was no African American there for the establishment of the new statue for Frederick Douglass. And he had many different ones. Some in Washington, one in Philadelphia, and one in his home state. But it just got me thinking, why? Why do we allow such bad behavior to happen to us? Why? We're not learning who came before us to lead us to the right direction. It wasn't only one person. It was many people who gave us a better open line to be who we are today. And I feel that we are losing greatly who we are, what we will become, what our ancestors had left us, and what we're not sharing. You got someone who came along, Ron DeSantis, to stop Black history in school. And he gave a speech of Black history and our so-called Black History Month, which Black history is 365 days. You cannot change your color whatsoever. And you still don't want to know? Or do you want to know? If you want to know, share this to as many people as you possibly can. Then take upon yourself, young people, and do history research. And once you do history research, open your eyes to the new generation, what's happening now. We got rappers who barely could speak English. Guess what? We got Frederick Douglass, who is an orator, writer, statesman, reformer, help people abolish slavery. Come on. How great is that? Now we have wars. Wars against Iran. Wars against our citizens, some of the citizens of the United States. But we're not trying to learn. You know, we want peace. But the only way to have peace, you must be able to fight and understand there will be war. This is bhoinnovations.com. Please check out our channel. Buy some of our books that lead you into business and help you achieve your dreams. Not American dreams, your dreams of success, whatever they may become. Learn your history today. bhoinnovations.com.